Hey y'all, so I am planning on doing a top of my TBR video for fall very soon, but as I was kind of compiling the list of books that I was going to talk about, I realized that a significant chunk of them fell under like manga or trade comic books or graphic novels, and so I decided to do a separate video talking about all of the manga, trade comic books, and graphic novels that are really intriguing me right now. Because I'm incredibly new to all three of those genres. I've only read the Lock and Key series and the Fade Out Volume 1. Like, that is all that I've read of anything that falls under any of those three categories. And because I'm so new to these genres, I'm kind of trying to get my feet wet and figure out what art styles I really appreciate and what genres I really like in the visual format. So I'm kind of using this as a way to get y'all's recommendations because I have a slight idea of what I like and what I don't like, but since I am so new, I don't know everything that's out there. So if y'all have any recommendations for me outside of what I talk about in this video, please let me know down in the comments because I have perused the web and tried to find as many of these as possible that are really intriguing to me. And even though there are definitely some on the list that I'm more interested in than others, this list is in no particular order, and if I'm really intrigued by one, I will mention that when I first start talking about it. And because I'm an idiot, I did not write down the names of any of the authors or illustrators for these, so I will be like showing a picture up here so you can see what it is and who it's by. So the first graphic novel that I have on the list is Nimona. Nimona is one that has been really like making its way around BookTube lately, and it has been getting a lot of really great reviews. This is one that I'm not quite as excited about as some of the other ones just because I haven't really looked into its art style to see if it's something I'm interested in, and because it is a standalone and I am really a fan of series. But the concept does seem really intriguing to me and it has been getting a lot of great reviews, so it's definitely on my list of ones that I might need to check out. So the second book on the list is probably the most prominent comic series right now, and that is Saga. And I actually looked at the preview of Volume 1 on Amazon, and it is really intriguing to me, and I will probably be getting Saga in the very near future. And as for the art style in Saga, overall I liked it. There was nothing that I remember being outstanding about it, but I did enjoy it. I've come to realize that the art style that I like is the more like modern art style versus the like classic comic style art. I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but I really like clean lines and bright colors. And that's another thing. Right now, I'm not really interested in looking at many black and white comics. I might in the future, but right now I'm kind of looking mostly at color. Back on topic to Saga, the few pages that I read of it seemed really intriguing, and the characters seemed really interesting, and so did the world. So this is definitely one that I'm really interested in picking up, and I mean everyone so far really loves it, so I'm sure it's pretty great. The next graphic novel on the list is Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. This is one that I am super excited about. I have had this one on my TBR for several months now, and I will probably be getting it sometime later this month so that I can read it during October because it seems really creepy and everyone says it's really scary. And so far I've really enjoyed all of the bits and pieces of the artwork that I've seen online. Red and black are two of my favorite colors and they're very prominent throughout the book. So far I really like the art style. I hope that I will enjoy it just as much once I get to read it. Next on the list is Rat Queens. Rat Queens is another one that has really been making the rounds on BookTube, and it's one of the ones that stood out to me, but it's not super high up on my interest list. What I've seen of the art style is really cool, and I think that the characters seem really interesting because they all have like these little quirks about them, and they seem to just be a group of really kick-butt female leads. The next graphic novel is In Real Life by Cory Doctorow. This is one that really intrigues me because it's so based in internet and online gameplay, which is a really interesting topic to me, but I'm a little bit more iffy about the art style in this one. It's not that I don't like the art style in this one because I've definitely seen art styles that I like a lot less, but it's a little bit more cartoony than what I think I really like. I guess some of the artwork that I've looked online seems a little bit more cartoony than what I would necessarily enjoy and less realistic because like the girl's hair is all one color versus like there being shades or, you know, tints or something. It's just very flat, kind of. I'm not sure if that made much sense, but the concept of the graphic novel is really interesting to me and the artwork is decent enough that I am really intrigued to pick this one up. The next comic series on my list is Lumberjanes. This one is really intriguing to me for the same reasons as Rat Queens, but I think this one is slightly higher up on my interest list. I just think that Lumberjanes seems to have a really awesome kick-butt group of lead female characters, and I really like the art style. Like, this is probably one of my favorite art styles that I've seen so far. Next is the Deadly Class comic series. Like with a lot of the others, Deadly Class has been getting a lot of really great reviews on BookTube, and the concept seems really intriguing to me, so this is definitely one of the higher up ones on my list. And as far as the art style, I am cautiously optimistic. I really like the concept of picking one color per page and using just like shades and tints of that color, but I'm not sure how much I really enjoy the drawing style. But like I said, overall, cautiously optimistic, and this is one that's really intriguing to me. So the next one is one of the ones that I am most intrigued with on this list, and that is the Witches comic series. This is one of the first comic series that really grabbed my attention and made me want to check it out. People have been saying that it's super creepy, and I am always on the lookout for a book that is going to creep me out. And so far what I've seen of the art style is really interesting because it's really realistic, but it sometimes has some really like vivid colors thrown in, even though most of it's really dark. It really intrigues me. So yeah, Witches is up there in the top few on this list that I am most intrigued by. Next on the list is the Sandman comic series by Neil Gaiman. And this is a really interesting example of what I do and don't like in an art style, because this was originally released back in the 90s with a kind of different coloration to it, and then it was re-released in 2010 with all new coloration, and I extremely prefer the new version to the original version. And so you'll probably see like some pictures of comparisons up in front of my face so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about, but over on the left side of your screen should be the original, and then over on the right should be the new version. But this is a series that has gotten a lot of praise from Jeff from Ermagerd Books, which I have mentioned several times is one of my most trusted reviewers on BookTube. Pretty much anytime he says he likes something, I also really enjoy it. So I'm really eagerly anticipating this one because it seems really creepy and it just really intrigues me. Next up is the Death Note manga series. This is one where the concept really intrigues me, but I'm a little iffy on the art style because since it is a manga, it is mostly black and white in the black editions, which are the ones I'm planning on getting. But yeah, I've never read a manga before, and this is the only one that's really intrigued me, so I really want to check it out. I'm just a little bit iffy about the black and white art. Next up is the Infernal Devices manga series. Now obviously I love the Infernal Devices. It is one of my favorite series of all time, and that's kind of why I'm thinking I might want to start with this series when I do get into manga, just because it's a story that I already know and love, and hopefully that will help me to kind of transition into this manga style of reading. And once again, the black and white is not my favorite, but since I do already love the story and characters, I'm probably going to check this one out pretty soon. And finally, the last one on this list is the Chew comic book series. Lindsay over at Lindsay Ray absolutely loves this comic series, and that's kind of the first place that I heard about it, and it definitely made me want to check out the series. I did read kind of the very beginning of the first volume on the Amazon preview, and so far I think the art style is pretty cool and the characters seem really interesting as well, so I'm really hoping I enjoy this one, and it's one of the higher up ones on this list. So that is it for the list of graphic novels and manga and trade comic books that are really intriguing me right now. I'm sure that my descriptions of what is intriguing to me are not super helpful, but if you do think of any comic series or graphic novels or manga that you think I might like, let me know down in the comments, because I am definitely open to at least looking and seeing if it's something that I'm interested in. And if you have read any of the books that I mentioned in this video, let me know down in the comments what you thought about them and if I should check them out. As always, I will leave links down in the description to my blog, Twitter, and Goodreads. Please add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends with all of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!